Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Becoming Better. Please do click the subscribe button so that you can be able to view more content. And right now, what we're going to talk about is how to double your income on a rental property. So, back in 2016, I purchased my first home, stayed in it for about 4.5, 5 years before deciding to renovate the garage. So one way to actually double your income on a single family property, let's get into that. A single family property is to renovate an additional space to that property. So if you have a two-car garage, you can renovate that two-car garage and turn it into a ADU. That's an additional dwelling unit. Some folks call them an in-law suite. In some counties, it's referred to as a dwelling unit. So with the additional dwelling unit, you can renovate the garage. So basically, when you renovate it, you can add a kitchen, a small kitchen, a bathroom. Make sure that it does have windows because you have to have windows in order to classify it as a room or additional living space. Closet, and one thing as well is a washer and dryer. That could be a stacked washer and dryer, or that could be side by side washer and dryer. But that way you can actually double your income on your property. So let's say for the single family unit, the single family property that you have, it could be like a 3 bedroom, 2 bath that has a garage, two-car garage attached to it. So if you're renting out that 3 bedroom, 2 bath, let's say you rent that out, um, no utilities included. Let's say you rent it out for about 1,500 a month. So if you spend the money, uh, and it roughly costs, I'll say if you do the work, it probably may only cost you about 15,000 because you'll just be spending money on materials. But if you need to pay a contractor to renovate the garage, then that could roughly cost you anywhere in between 25 to $45,000. Now, on our property with me and my wife, what we ended up doing is we found some contractors. They only charged us for labor, so we only paid about 14,000 for labor, and it roughly for materials and supplies it roughly cost us about $8,000, and all of the furniture that we use within the property, we ended up buying all of that off of Facebook Marketplace. I mean, even the cabinets came off of Facebook Marketplace. That's how it was. The sinks, we ended up purchasing off of Amazon. You want to make sure that your sinks and fixtures are on point. So that goes into a little bit more detail when it comes to making sure that you upgrade, make sure that the fixtures within the property are really, really nice. So that's the light fixtures, the what else? Yeah, the light fixtures, the outlets. You want to make sure that they're upgraded. What else do we have? Light fixtures, um, yeah, light fixtures and electrical outlets. If you can, make sure that you update the paint within the primary property, and you can actually rent those units out separately. Now, the units are, like I said, an additional dwelling unit. A dwelling unit is a place where a family resides. So if you have a duplex, then that's two units. And so those are two separate units. So with a single family property, what I would highly recommend is that if you're going to rent out the 3 bedroom, 2 bath like we do, and the garage space separately when you renovate it into an additional dwelling unit, make sure that they have separate AC systems. Well, central heating and air systems. So with the main house, we have a central heating and air system, and the additional dwelling unit, we have a ductless mini split. Now, I don't know if you all know what a ductless mini split is, but it's basically a unit that's on the wall and it can heat up the square footage of the space. Most of them can heat up 1,000 feet or more of space, and it's a great addition to have so that that person or people who stay within that small unit or small space is mainly, a lot of it is mainly for studio apartments. They can have their own regulation on how they want the space to heat up or cool down. So yeah, ductless mini split that can run you that can roughly run you in between $2,500 to $6,000 to get installed, but you want to make sure that you have that for a small studio space. And also with the additional dwelling unit, you want to have the bed, couch, television, all of that already there. Now, getting more into details on how to double your income on the property. So if you're renting out the main space, 3 bedroom, 2 bath for 1,500, and that's no utilities included, then when you get that additional dwelling unit, one thing that you can do is you can up the price on the main part of the house, which is the 3 bedroom, 2 bath, and instead of just charging 1,500, you can up the amount to like 1,900 and just include the utilities, because the person renting out the additional dwelling unit, the renovated garage, you can charge right there. You can probably charge about 1,200 or 1,300 a month with utilities included. And if it's furnished, you can even charge a little bit more. But I'd say just keep it simple. You could charge the 1,900 with it furnished inside the 3 bedroom, 2 bath, and charge the 12 or 1,300 within the ADU with it already furnished. So that roughly means that you're going to be making about 3,200 a month off of the. I hope I got that calculations right. Yeah, 3,200 a month within with one property. So that's a big come up. Now keep in mind you'll be paying for the utilities, but because all of the utilities run off of one space, so that means that the power, the sewage, the water will be running off of one space all together. It won't be separate. The only time it's separate is if you turn that property into like a duplex where they separate the power sources, and you get the authorization from the county to be able to renovate it into a duplex. Some neighborhoods allow it, some neighborhoods don't. I'd say keep it pretty simple and basic, because the resale value on the property means that someone purchases the property from you when you decide to sell, then it'd be a great addition, because maybe they can move in their parents or mother or father, or even if the kid graduates from college, they can come back and live in that additional dwelling unit while they're trying to get their life together and on track. So it's just a great addition to have for a single family property. And also, I'd say be sure to separate the doors by adding double doors like a hotel would do. And you could do this. It's very simple. You just chisel the part that doesn't have a door. You chisel and install another door, preferably a flat panel door. And on both sides won't be able to enter the other side. One side will be locked and the other side will be locked. So a double door would be a great addition. That's basically how we did it. And it brings in a substantial income for that property. Actually, it didn't double on the property. It actually tripled the profits. So well, it doubled the profits basically. So if the I'm gonna just put an example. If your mortgage on your property is $1,400, then that means with $3,200, oh gosh, that's a great profit. A lot of single family properties, folks, they only profit about 400 or 600, maybe $800 on the property. But once you end up doing that additional dwelling unit to the property, that's going to double your income for that property. And I can go more into detail on how you actually can make this happen. Basically, when we lived in our property and we renovated the garage, we started off doing Airbnb for the space. In most counties, you have to live within the house in order to be able to have it as an Airbnb. So in some counties, they allow you to just have Airbnbs where you don't have to live at the Airbnb, but in some counties they require that you do that. So we started doing Airbnb with the properties, but with that one property, and so it was very substantial for that. It was great, and so basically this is best for when you have the utilities included and you have it already furnished. This is a great way to have Airbnbs, midterm rentals, 1 to 6 months, and long term as well, because you have traveling nurses, traveling military families, traveling professionals who really don't have the time to try to set up utilities and get an apartment and move furniture, get the apartment furnished. Some of them already receive a stipend for being able to come and stay at a property. So it's already included. So when they find out about you through different sites, Airbnb, Furnish Finder, different ones of that nature, they're going to be more inclined to want to do business with you because they don't have to spend the money to renovate not renovate, to furnish the property and get utilities set up. So that's actually a great way as well. And if you don't have the cash, but you've been living in the property for a while, I'd recommend that you either do a cash out refinance, a second mortgage, or a HELOC on the property to go ahead and get it renovated, because you'll already have equity within the property. And this is the key: when you do receive that cash out refinance or second mortgage or HELOC on the property, after renovations, make sure, like right after renovations, make sure that you apply again for the cash out refinance and use that money to pay back on the loan after the appraisal. Um, Basically, when you do, use that money from the cash out refinance to either pay back that money that you use, or pay back the second mortgage, or pay back on the HELOC. Once you do that cash out refinance after the property has renovated. So if the property when you bought it is worth 120,000, and then you you can take out that cash out refinance, and then you go ahead and you renovate the property. When you go back and get it reappraised, it should appraise for at least $35,000 or more, when you do get it reappraised after having that renovation. Heck, a whole lot more. I'm saying the smallest amount, but it should reappraise for a highly substantial amount. I'm just saying 35,000 to be conservative, but just make sure that you do that, and you'll be well on your way to not only home ownership but becoming a landlord. We can go more into details about how it is to be a landlord. You'll see more videos on that, but just be sure to click and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. I'll tell you a little bit about our journey. And so yeah, thank you. Becoming Better is the channel. Y'all be easy. Talk to you soon.